Hey, all you comic book readers and true believers, it's Tuesday, and I'm your ever-loving blue-eyed comic book guy, Mitch Harmon. You guys know what's up. Mitch's Picks. From Aftershock Comics, Stronghold, #1, written by Phil Hester, art done by Ryan Kelly. This story revolves around the character Michael. I think it's Gray. Michael is just your average Midwestern insurance adjuster, but he's starting to learn things about himself. Like, for one, he can rip car doors off, no problem. He can hold his breath for at least 16 to 18 minutes, possibly even longer. Many things that should not be done by normal people. And he thinks that possibly there might be something wrong with him. Maybe it's all delusional. He's not entirely sure. Cut to Claire. Claire is, she belongs to this group called the Stronghold, which are people that are trying to keep Michael, who's also called the Primacy, in an amnesic state, so to speak, not realizing that he's this super weapon or god or alien super lord, or I'm not really sure entirely, but this is the first issue of this new Aftershock series, revolving around basically trying to use Earth as this prison for this alien warlord or whatever you want to call it. But anything after Aftershock is usually pretty interesting because you got new writers and stuff like that, but sometimes old classic ones too. But definitely want to check this out, guys. From DC Vertigo Comics, High Level, #1, written by Rob Sheridan, art done by Barnaby Bagenda. 100 years after the world's been destroyed, humanity has found a way to rebuild itself. Much like in our modern day society, you have the slums and the high levels. High level is this pristine utopian society. Seems from the outside looking in, it looks like an ivory tower pretty much. Everything's happy, no famine, no disease, no war, nothing. When then you have the lower levels. Introducing into the book 13, she comes from a place called Ordell Flats. Basically working as a mercenary, just taking odd jobs here and there. That is until a very strange job that comes in from one of her close friends, asking her to transport a good that she's not really sure about what it actually is until she actually meets the good, which is a little girl. It needs to be transported back to High Level, and along the way, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of conflicts. She's trying to avoid these black helix, which are almost like stormtroopers from Nazi Germany, I guess you could say. But it is a kind of a futuristic sci-fi book, DC Vertigo, so it's going to be a more mature title. But from the first issue, I was really impressed, guys. Check it out. From Image Comics, Sharky the Bounty Hunter, #1, written by Mark Miller, art done by Simone Bianchi. Sharky is just your everyday average bounty hunter, intergalactic bounty hunter, I guess you could say. That is until one of his bounties ends up with a kid being homeless. It was his uncle, he put him in prison, now the kid's got nowhere to go. So it's up to Sharky to take him back to his mother's second cousin now, and so she can watch him. Or he decides maybe to also go after this once-in-a-lifetime bounty of $1 billion, or billion space dollars, whatever you want to call it, and pursue that as well. Maybe you can get both of them done. This is a new miniseries coming out from Image Comics for Mark Miller. I'm a huge fan of Mark Miller. I know not everyone is, but that's fine. This is a show that's possibly, or a book that's possibly going to be turned into a show on Netflix. But it is only going to be 6 issues, so if you don't want to wait for the show, I highly recommend picking this one up, guys. Check it out. From Marvel Comics, Wolverine Infinity Watch, #1, written by Jerry Dugan, art done by Andy McDonald. Spinning out of the events of Infinity Wars and kind of tying into some of the events from the Uncanny X-Men series, this book starts with Wolverine going back to the Xavier Mansion, walking up, having the door open for him, and seeing Jean Grey there. And as he goes in for a hug, he senses something, I guess smells it, and realizes this is an illusion. It's Loki. And then the X-Mansion has been destroyed. See Uncanny X-Men for what happened to the X-Mansion. But Wolverine's trying to figure out what's happened. Loki says that he was the one that came, he told him about all this Infinity nonsense at the beginning. Wolverine has no idea what he's talking about. Enter Phoenix, future Phoenix Wolverine, who was the one that was apparently told by future Loki, who got the Infinity Stones and messed everything up, and now he needed to go back in time to stop present day Loki from messing everything up. You know what? It's a lot going on. It ties into the events that happened in Infinity Wars. Maybe a little bit of what's going on in Guardians of the Galaxy, and then definitely what happened in the Uncanny X-Men. It is a kind of convoluted, but in this true fashion of what Marvel does. But this is a mini-series. Basically, it looks like Wolverine and Loki are going to go around trying to find the Infinity Stones, which, if you guys followed the last bit of the Infinity Wars, realize that at least one, the Time Stone, has inhabited the body of this guy, Hector. He's an inmate, and he's able to stop time now. And one of the last things future Phoenix Wolverine says to modern day Phoenix, or modern day Wolverine and Loki, is to protect Hector. And so now they are beginning to try to hunt down where this Hector guy is and figure out what's going on. Plus, he's also a walking Infinity Stone. Pretty good idea to try to keep those guys under wraps. But like I said, this is a mini-series starting with possibly Infinity Watch. I'm not entirely sure, guys, but you definitely don't want to miss this one, guys. Check it out. From Kodansha Publications, Alita, Battle Angel, written by Yukito Kishiro. This is the first volume of the Alita Battle Angel, just in time for the movie. I've heard nothing but good things about it. I have not seen it yet, though, but it looks awesome. This is the original Cyberpunk story manga series. This crazy kind of, not crazy, but kind of eccentric scientist finds the head of this cyborg and then gives her this new body armor called the Berserker. And then she goes on to not only try to define who she is, but also tries to protect the weak and those that can't protect themselves. The movie does a great job, I'm assuming, of condensing it down to the bare bones of what the story is all about. But if you guys want more layers to it, highly recommend picking this up. We do have the first 2 volumes. We can get more as well. I think there's 3 and 4, but I don't think they print them in paperbacks anymore. It's only in these hardbacks. So if you guys want to check it out, you definitely got to pick up this copy, guys. So definitely check it out. Don't forget, in 2 weeks, not this weekend, next weekend, we'll be at the Arcade Expo. You guys should definitely come on out. It's going to be a lot of fun. We'll be out there with a booth selling stuff and, of course, playing games, because that's what the Arcade Expo is all about. So please come by and check us out there. That's my picks for this week, everyone. Keep reading your comics, true believers. See you guys next week.